I've already like said that.
I know. You just want to, I think it's because we've already gone that way. Yeah.
They had everybody at that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna grab it.
Yeah, those are.
So do they use normal vibrant right now?
Oh, we.
It's amazing. It looks so good. Every month, do they?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to get a handle on.
5 months.
So they had, yeah.
Is that not always?
Now, what's Corey, do you help Corey out? And he's CORY, right?
CORY.
Because we haven't.
I guess it's like that's the source.
Yeah, whenever you have somebody high size like that.
So I just got off the
I
conversation.
think the biggest one I had
John
was, we actually had Dr. Mark.
mostly,
When I first got it, we had him in one of our rooms. I think it was the security room. But my boss at the time, Chris Team, was relatively new. So my boss was in the meeting, so she was able to kind of run it. So you don't feel she was, exception. So she kind of took that part. Just so I wouldn't have to, and he didn't. And then you don't see these folks again until the next controversy.
and I talked to them like Brian and Dr. Green.
That's why sometimes like, but like, tell them but this one I didn't know who the, whatever, because I know, I saw when he sent it.
That's fine. We're wrapping up.
But yeah, I mean, we refer them out to partners, but I do think that like, it really does take.
No, thank you. It's hard to keep with braces. Yeah, I got braces. I'll do it when I can get one. Looks good though.
We should, I was just talking about this, health and housing.
Right.
Yeah, and I wanted to present on one of our projects. That arching is our wellness suite.
I might be.
All right, looks like everybody's kind of got your pizza. You can continue to eat as I talk. But just wanted to welcome everybody to the February meeting of the Community Association. My name is Daniel. I'll be your facilitator. My role here is just to make sure that we get everything done tonight. I am going to ask for someone else to help me keep time. A timekeeper, basically, you'll tell me,
25th, 26th, along that east to west corridor. It's probably person. But those are the only two trends that we have currently. But I will certainly be available in future meetings if they present themselves. And again, remember, I'm only operating off of what the police tell me. So reported crimes also kind of important in this area. Folks, so I retired from Baltimore County Police, and I lived in Baltimore County. Folks report everything to the police. They report everything. I mean everything. If your lawn furniture is stolen, they're calling you. That person gets videos of these folks on her phone. She can look at them and go, oh, that's so and so. So when these kind of things happen, I know it's a pain in the ass at times, but it does help the neighborhood if everyone else knows that it's occurring and not just you.
also just to add to that, I don't know if you're familiar with CityStat. It's a website where you can basically like look at a lot of information like for the city, like 311 calls, but in addition to crime or reported crime in your neighborhood, and you can usually kind of like zoom into an area, stratify it for date and time and location, but it's called CityStat. Yep.
So
But yeah, tell me what that's.
So with CityStat, that's that's an excellent resource. I don't want to push away from that. But the good thing is that you have me. So I get to see the crimes every day. There's a synopsis on exactly what happened. So when you see it on a website like that, for instance, an assault, let's say an assault happens, that's all you see is a tick mark for an assault. I'll see, oh, there was an assault, but it was a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or it was two people who knew each other, they got drunk, they argued over something, and they assaulted each other. Do you really need to know about those? I don't think you need to, I mean, you tell me, I don't think you need to know about ones that are kind of domestic related or people who know each other committing crimes against one another. I would think you're more concerned with situations where random strangers, you know, the guy walks down the street and hits the old lady over the head with a stick and takes her wallet. I think you want to know about those. So like city stat will just lump them all in. I get to read the exact crime, exactly what happened, and I won't count those in.
4-minute warning. Just.
So, oh, thank you. So yeah, so I won't count those in. Like if it looks domestic, boyfriend stole girl's keys and took her car, her Hyundai. Well, I won't come in a meeting like this and report that Hyundai as a theft. They're having issues amongst themselves. She took his Hyundai. That's not what you want. The 15-year-old kid who stole your car at 3 a.m. went joyride and took it to school and dumped it in Darley Park. That's what you want, I would think. Am I right? Okay.
Go ahead, question. Go ahead.
So would you suggest people go to the Northern District the meetings?
Yes, so monthly, the Northern District has a community meeting where you can voice concerns as well. It's also virtual. You don't have to be there physically. I'm at the meeting as well. I'm not always in person, but I'm always there at least virtually. So again, if you have questions you want, but again, aside from the meeting, I meet with that in person weekly, so you don't have to wait a month, because I meet with them weekly. You have my phone number, you have my email address, so I can talk to them weekly, so.
Does that Northern District meeting happen in the same place and time?
Yes, at the Northern District, and if you go to their website, the Zoom link is there.
I only added it because it seemed like you wanted some face-to-face time or to get, he has like the direct stuff, but it sometimes going to those meetings, you know who the major sergeants and all those people are probably. But these are good folks, and they'd be more than happy to see you.
All right, other folks, questions?
Yeah, one last question.
Go ahead.
When it comes to, I guess, the trends, how much of a factor do you think that the season is with that? Because like, most people are probably outside because it's cold.
Yeah. So you sound like my boss said the same thing. No, because again, I think I mentioned this earlier. So we are seeing a decrease in the number of cars that are stolen, but that's not the case in other parts of the city. For instance, Remington and parts north of here, Roland Park, those folks are still experiencing high levels, carjackings, and we're just not seeing it. So, and that's close. I mean, those places are close. I don't know why. I don't want to take credit for anything, but I'm just happy that it's not happening around here, and let's try to keep it that way.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Brooks? All right, thank you for this update. Sure. All right, moving on. Next, we have some garden updates. Woo! Who wants to give us the garden updates? What's going on with the garden?
It's us two. So, yay! The spring's coming, y'all. We saw some snowdrops, which are like the first time in spring. They're a little flower. It's very cute. We just did our
little volunteer day.
Yeah, we did our little volunteer day, last Saturday. We have some collards and kale from that, should anybody want that. And there's also like bags, should you want a bag also for your collards and kale. Besides that, we are looking into, a shed, if anybody, basically if things are ripe, but like you don't necessarily either like the vegetable or you have had enough cherry tomatoes, but gosh, there are so many. We want to build a stand in order to kind of be like, hey, we left this in the stand, please have at it type deal.
On that, we would actually like it to go beyond that, because a lot of people are reluctant to pick from the garden,
Yeah.
because they don't realize that it's a public garden.
Yeah.
So if we have a sign and a big basket that says, free produce from the free community garden,
Please eat.
it will, first of all, yeah, stuff doesn't go to waste. Not everything in the garden goes to waste, but when, like, the tomatoes are just pumping out, like, you know, all that stuff, and we want it to be available. It is for the community. So yeah, we're gonna probably be applying for a grant to get money for that. We need somebody who has design, like, blueprint experience, because we need to figure out exactly how much it's gonna cost in our request.
Yeah.
And if you have that capability, if somebody has a design and construction experience, I mean, I think plenty of us could do it, but, you know, just having like a more formal approach. We would also like to put up, independent of that, a small shed for our tools, just with like a screened-in outside, just so that people know that it's just a bunch of, you know, rakes and stuff. But a hand from anybody who knows or anyone who can recommend somebody would be more than welcome, so that we can have that and we can have a budget for the grant proposal.
I think you had a.
I was just saying, it's not a good shed. Okay. I just want to be clear. Like, it's not like a shed you're gonna look at and go like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a functional shed at the side lot that we literally just today were like, we're breaking this down because we don't want it. So I would only put it at like a 30%. This could work out, but if it does, it is a free shed, and it includes like the 4x4s that would create like the platform to mount it on. So if anybody wants to
I'll
look at it.
And maybe you can like shoot me a picture
Yeah.
tomorrow or something.
Yeah. But I'd love to give it more life to somebody's looking.
Yeah, we have a lot of like stuff that is like, oh man, we bought this like 2 seasons ago. Why is it so degraded?
Yeah.
Is that insect damage? It's been left in the rain? Not great.
Yeah, our picnic tables are just continuing to rot.
Yeah. Yeah, we're also
That
looking
has
at mending our picnic tables for the next upcoming meeting. Hopefully we will get some mulch in, we're gonna split logs, we're gonna ascertain the damage to the picnic tables. We're going to try to remove our invasive English ivy that is just eating our mulberry tree. I like mulberries, and I wanna make sure we have a tree. I'm very upset about it. But besides that, that's it for Harwood.
Yeah, we're also, so
Right, yeah.
we're posting more to the Instagram.
Yeah, so we have somebody dedicated for the Instagram. I just updated the Google, like when you search it up on maps or anything like that, that is also updated. And if anybody has questions, it'll go to my phone.
And send pictures
Yeah.
if you're in the group chat and you're like in the garden or you walk by, send pictures to one of the group chats and that might be put up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or might be used for a flyer or something. Where we wanted to get a set specific weekly volunteer date and time. I put like a when to meet up, but not a lot of people like put their free time in, but we're moving towards Saturdays just unconsciously. So maybe that will be in the future, but hopefully we will standardize that
Yeah.
before, either before or directly after planting has gone in for the spring plantings, I'd say.
Yep.
When I tried to open up the link, it made to answer the survey, it would make me make an account. So that might be it.
Oh, the when to meet? Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just do a doodle poll then or something.
Yeah, that might be good.
Okay. Yeah, look at that.
5-minute warning.
Okay, look out for that on garden garden group chat.
You might be able to do, we were doing like doodle polls. Are the doodle polls free?
Okay, yeah, I'll do a doodle poll.
Okay.
Other than that, we have put in seedling orders. We're doing greens, so collard greens, kale, two different types of kale, I think. We put in for
Bunch of onion.
yeah, bunching onion.
I think that's all we got for the early, and then the
Yeah.
midsummer crops, we're doing lots of tomatoes, heirloom slicer varieties, we're doing cherry tomatoes, basil is gonna come in then,
Yep.
we'll be doing marigolds.
Yep.
What
Parsley,
else?
cilantro.
Oh yeah, parsley, cilantro will be in there, first planting,
Yep.
early spring, and we're gonna get cucumbers, eggplants, this is midsummer stuff
Yep.
as well. And I shouldn't be saying this, but if anybody has seeds and wants to sprout them, you can give them to me, or I think.
I have a bunch of sprouts
Okay.
already going.
Yeah, so, you can do that, if you're really moved to something, to be grown.
You can also just sprout them and see what works.
Yeah, try it yourself, because I have a lot of
Also do
seeds to
that.
do, but,
You can also both work.
yeah.
But yeah, so we're excited for the new year. I'm excited to see where the garden kind of goes. If we can get this grant,
Yeah.
get these things going, hopefully, yeah, just exciting. So that's about it, I think, for the garden.
Yeah.
Did you have an update on the garden day, or did you already say that?
Yeah, so basically we got out all of we went through the beds, we got out all of the like papery stuff, leftover plant matter.
Like all the plant residue.
Yeah. So it doesn't
Clear
look
the
as
beds.
cruddy. And then we also took out all of the kale and collards out of those beds, so that's what that is from. So that is all like generally young, so they're more tender and delicious. Just, we're gonna get the beds ready. And we also looked at the compost setup, and so we got more like information
Yeah.
on what compost, what needs what, browns versus greens, et
Which
cetera.
may or may not be evolving by the end of the year, we'll see.
Well, we just have to see.
Yeah, we may be adding a 3-bay system to that, but we'll communicate how to use that. If you use the tumbler now, just keep using the tumbler how you have done using it.
Got a question over here?
Well, I noticed you mentioned benches.
Yes.
So is that like an extension of the garden, kind of in a way?
So you've got like.
Are we like responsible for that?
So we put those in before, and so when we made the space, we had the beds, and then underneath the tree, I mean, you're not gonna get any sunlight, so we put in those like picnic tables. And so that, one of them is like, wow, this is like falling apart, exposed nails, not great. Really hope a child does not fall on that, type deal. So we are trying to get that done as soon as possible to get that like under control. And hopefully that will be, yeah, sorry.
I had a follow-up question to that, but
Yes.
I want to let you finish.
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hesitant to say this, but it seems like that area has become somewhat of a hub for like folks to gather and smoke.
No, that area was and always has been a hub. It's not a new development.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just like, it kind of makes me averse to coming to that area because I got little ones and it's
Okay.
just constantly like, the whole area is like smoked out and it seems like it's every single time I pass or walk in that area,
Okay.
the whole garden smells like
Okay.
all sorts of smoke.
Okay.
So, I don't know if there's anything we can do about that to kind of make it more, approachable for everybody to be in that area. People with asthma,
Well,
people got
yeah.
kids, you know what I mean?
Part of the thing is we're gonna be like, with doing the IV and cleaning up the trash and remedying the picnic table situations, hopefully we're gonna try and make it look more of a like, hey, this is not a place to like sit here and do drugs wildly. Cause there have been fent capsules there I've seen too.
Really?
Yeah, so it is a bit of a problem.
Is there signage we could possibly?
Yeah, and that's
put in
another
those
thing
smoke
we could be
area,
doing,
like,
too.
like, which we're right next to a playground as
Yeah.
well, that's always
Like
smoked
kids.
out.
Slow down, kids at play.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
other-
that's a good idea.
The other thing that goes with that is, as we clean it, as we can make it more of an appealing place, when there are more kids there are less people hanging out.
Nah.
I've seen it ebb and flow. I mean, this
Yeah.
is like the last few years.
Okay.
And, when it looks better, people treat it better.
Yeah.
Um,
It's at least, it's a good place to start, I think.
Yeah. We are at time this section.
Okay.
I think we had.
You just gave
I
one
have
last question.
more of a
and then-
comment.
Yeah.
A slow solution would be anyone who lives right there, as I do, to just chat to neighbors, see if we can figure out who it is, and see if we can go about it in a nice, kind, like, friends talking to friends and being like, oh, there's interest in
Yeah.
having kids come and play here, let's make sure we respect safe, healthy air quality
That's a
for
good
them,
Yeah.
that kind of.
Also, a lot of people are, I'm sure a lot of people who smoke there and hang out there, like, you know, if you also go to the space and they see you, are also probably less, they're gonna be maybe potentially more respectful of the space.
Honestly, I come with my kids and people, as I'm playing with my kids, they come and sit down. Like, that's like their spot, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm like, I feel like I'm going into
Their space, yeah.
their space,
Yeah.
not like, oh, this is a shared space, no. Like, that's how it feels,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
But
one of the
that's-
other issues is that in this area, there's, I mean, besides the playground, like, we don't really have a lot of other, like, hangout spaces.
Yeah.
And there's a bus
So-
stop.
And then, yeah, the bus stop, people
Yeah.
just sit there.
Yeah.
They get off work or something, they're waiting for a bus for 50 minutes and they just sit there. So
Yeah.
people will post up there.
And I think it's fair to also keep in mind, although that I think that is very much, it's a space for everybody, so we should be able to make it for everyone, but, to kind of build on that is that a lot of these people, a lot of people are our neighbors. They're long-term residents, they are people who were in the space probably before us. And so, just for us to keep in mind that it's not people infringing on our space, it is a space for all of us.
Yeah.
And we do have to find a way to coexist and share.
Awesome. Thank you for, sorry.
Actually, just really quickly, this Saturday, we are gonna be
Oh, yeah.
trying to get
Well done.
all those chunks of wood cleaned up and get that space cleaned out, which will also help make it look better. If you are not on the garden WhatsApp group, or if you don't have WhatsApp and you want to get messages, talk to one of us. Either of the three of us are all very involved. And we'll just be clearing brush, and we've got a wood splitter that we'll have access to break up the logs, which is exciting.
What time is that?
It's gonna be really nice out, so sometime between 9 and 10 we'll be out there, and just we'll go till it's done.
We'll try to put on the Instagram too.
All right. Thank you for all those lovely garden updates and conversation about community. All right, so moving on to forum updates. If you didn't know, Harwood Community Association is going to be hosting 2 different forums this year. And it'll be, a forum space is really just where you can actually connect and engage, have way more dialogue, disagree with people, which is a great space to do that in. It's really only through healthy conflict that we're able to reach a lot of change that we need in communities. But yeah, who's our forum update
Yeah, I
first?
can take that. Yeah, so we have our first forum scheduled for May 11th with a rain date of May 18th. We were thinking about using the playground as a Saturday event in place of the monthly meeting, so that we can have it more than just the forum time, but also a time to have a resource fair, activities for all of the neighbors to do and join in with. And in preparation for that, based on some of the comments from last month, we want to put together a panel in April. And this first forum is going to be dedicated to neighborhood infrastructure. There's several topics that have been floating around for the past year that I'm aware of. Also, at community association meetings, as well as within the WhatsApp group, and just kind of sprinkled in other places too. Those are around CSX and the new train development that's going on there, and how that's going to impact environmental health and traffic during the construction period, which is slated to be 18 months. And then there's just traffic more generally has been a pretty serious concern amongst residents in Harwood, with 28th Street and 29th Street being the main impacted zones for speeding and concerns around pedestrian safety. Also Greenmount being kind of a split in the neighborhood and it not being very accessible to get from West Harwood to East Harwood. And then the other one, I am blanking on that. Oh, there's a proposed bus line or train line running up Greenmount. And that seems to be fairly new, but I think the intention for the panel is to have folks from the community with expertise in any of these three areas, topics of traffic and infrastructure, to come and speak as experts at our April meeting, prioritizing experts from our community of Harwood. So this is just a general call for anyone who has expertise in those areas or knows of folks with expertise in that areas directly from our neighborhood. We will open it up to outside of our neighborhood too, but we really want to prioritize folks from within that have those expertise and maybe don't have as much access to a platform as well, to express their knowledge or share their knowledge. So if you are or know anyone that fits that description and is interested in participating and leading these panels, you can reach out to the president email, which is president at I always forget it, I'm so sorry.
I think it's Harwood.org.
It's Harwood something, Harwood Baltimore, yeah. We're also going to be circulating a survey. We're putting together a survey right now and we're gonna do door knocking within the neighborhood.
Ooh.
So you'll probably see a group of us from the forum committee coming to your door. Have you participate in the survey that's not only gathering information about interest in participation, but also general concerns about infrastructure in the neighborhood.
All right.
It's president at harwoodbaltimore.com.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Well, 5-minute warning.
What's like the timeline for the April one?
So the April panel will be at our next, or likely will be at our next community meeting on April 1st. And so the outreach for that is like happening now.
Any other questions or comments about upcoming forum? Or sorry, panel? All right, yeah, if you know anybody in your community who has expertise or has, worked for any of these agencies that like touch infrastructure, or know somebody who knows somebody, there's a good chance that there is a lot of knowledge in the community already. And again, would like for those people to come from the community that we're gonna be talking about. All right, well, moving on to calendar update.
What's the topic? Sorry, what?
Calendar update.
We're gonna try to make it a point to have all of our dates accessible on the website, just so if you're like, when is this month's community association meeting? Because once in a while there are Mondays, first Monday of the month is a holiday or close to a holiday. We want people to be able to check. We also want people to be able to see what's going on. So anybody because we are gonna be breaking into these committees, if you have dates, if you have specific concrete dates you wanna shoot for, just make sure we know, because we wanna be able to include all of those things, on the website. I think that's basically what we need.
Yeah, so the calendar is gonna include all Harwood dates, all board meeting dates, all committee meeting dates, if everyone can, on committees can get that generally set, and then also, dumpster days,
Events.
yeah, general events, forums, yeah.
The whole baby.
Anything else about the calendar? All right. Any other announcements before we kind of go into committees and have more small group discussions? Do you have enough?
I have a couple of updates, if that's okay.
Sing.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Councilwoman Ramos. I represent the Harwood East, but soon to be representing Harwood West. In redistricting, I have had the pleasure of talking with many of you and your neighbors. I went door knocking the last couple of weekends, and it's been awesome to talk with neighbors. Some of the things that I heard, there's a need for more speed bumps in the community, which I am a huge fan of, so that has already been put in. I advocated along with my colleagues for more money from the state for traffic calming, so I am trying to get my entire district covered by the time I have to run again, like next time. So anyway, so it's very exciting to have talked with everybody. I heard a lot of other items too. I'm in the process of I've done an analysis of all my vacant properties, so I'm in the process, because that's what I do. It's my emphasis these days. So when I have that data, the data will include how many vacant properties, which you don't have very many of, are in-rem eligible. And I think I talked about in-rem in one of the past meetings, in which are receivership, and we can go through the process with whatever committee you want to go through in terms of looking to figure out how to address those issues as well. I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for, talking with me when I came and knocked on your doors. I am excited that we were able to get the adopt-a-lot agreement, finally. So, I had to step in there to get that done, so I'm glad that it got done. Yeah.
Is the other lot that's privately owned next, like as a part of the community garden, can that be put on the in-rem list?
I think it's already in the process. Those lots right there on 27th Street are in the acquisition process already.
They are in the acquisition process?
All of them, in the old-fashioned tax sale foreclosure, which takes for a million years. And I asked to move them all to in-rem, and they're not gonna do it. But I will check on, because they're already in the tax sale. I don't know why, it's dumb. They should just move them into in-rem, and this will be done like in 5 months.
One thing for you guys to discuss is like that if you can get it through the acquisition process is whether, again, this could be maybe something where CBP teams up with you all, but providing some funding towards the acquisition and then transferring it over to Baltimore Green Space for kind of permanent.
You have to have the adopt-a-lot for 5 years.
Which they definitely have.
Yeah.
Well,
no, this is
Harwood,
new.
the community garden, not there's two. There's one I run, which is new, as of now, which is like 27 and Boone, and there's Harwood Community Garden.
Right, the community garden for sure.
That's active qualified.
Which
And
is
probably
what I'm thinking.
You're exactly right, that we actually should do that.
Yeah, so we'll, I'll do the analysis of the lots too and see what folks want to do in terms of planning. Because there's also those lots that are city-owned lots right on the 2600 block of Greenmount that there's currently no plan for, that I think the community should come together around those.
We should figure that out.
I have some ideas. I think some other people have come to me with some ideas, but I'm not willing to move forward on anything until the community has a conversation. It's just how I operate. And so that's also the case for the 27th Street ones, because initially, there was a conversation around, more senior housing, which I still think is needed, and just want to, touch base on that. Anyway, so I'm excited to finish up that analysis and share the data with you, maybe at the next meeting, if that's okay. Or I'll send it ahead of time, and then you can see if you have any questions. And then, we'll go from there. On the MTA thing, real quick, to Greenmount Avenue, York Road, Greenmount Avenue has been slated for a north-south corridor for either light rail or rapid bus. It's not happening tomorrow, so don't worry. There's a lot more planning that needs to be involved, and so I just suggested there's somebody who lives in Able, just a few blocks up, that was part of that process, and maybe can come to that forum. But anyway, there will be a lot more conversations about this, particularly around dollars and when, and it would be, if it's rapid bus, there would be a dedicated bus lane. So it will take out one lane of parking, and then I think. And then light rail, unfortunately, they took out all the infrastructure that was already there, because at one point in time, there was a streetcar going up and down Green Mountain Avenue. But when they did the water main, they took out all the infrastructure. I was like, what the, it was so sad to see. It's a horrible waste of money. Anyway, light rail would be so super cool, going down the middle, and you know, sort of like Cleveland, San Francisco, like that would be so cool. So anyway, there's a lot more. It's not happening tomorrow, but at least that, you know, I'm glad you brought it up, because it just wanted to brief everybody on that piece.
I feel like I should know this, but what is the status of the purple route going over to Greenmount?
I just asked the DOT about that, because they were supposed to do that in January, which was a week ago. So, if you don't know, the circulator, the purple line goes north and south, north on Charles, south on St. Paul, and they agreed to extend it, excuse me, it'll go up North Charles, over to 33rd, down Green Mountain Avenue, over on 29th Street, and then go south on St. Paul. So it's very exciting, I have to tell you. And the goal, I mean, it was supposed to be done in January, but and I literally just was like, hey, what's going on? Particularly since we're having the Baltimore Book Festival on Green Mountain in September, so I definitely want to have it ready for that. I mean, they'll have to pick a new route because we're in closed Green Mountain, but I mean, at least it'll be, you know, around that area. Yeah.
If you want to finish that thought, though.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I have a card, so I will stick around. I also have a newsletter that comes out electronically on Mondays and talks about what's going on in the communities, but also citywide, so you're welcome to subscribe to that.
It's a great newsletter. I just want to let you know it's an awesome newsletter.
Thanks. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it. You know, I think part of our job is to keep people informed so we can make good decisions. I have a lot of legislation that I just introduced about vacant properties. So I don't know if somebody wants to have, you know, if you've got a group that's doing work around some of the, you don't have very many, you used to have a lot more, vacant properties, you know, let me know if you want to participate in that
I have
conversation.
a question about the demolitions on Greenmount. Is
Uh-huh.
that your area? Like, what, like, how do they decide on some of this? I don't know, I'm just interested in knowing more about it.
Yeah, so those initial ones that are there, that are lots now, they were just like in super bad shape, like dangerous. And so they demolished them to make sure that if they weren't gonna fall on anybody. And so now we've just gotta figure out, and they're now owned by the city, the ones on 26th Street and the ones, they're starting to be owned by, 26th Street, Green Mountain Avenue, on the 2600 block. And then the ones on 27th Street, they're in the process of acquiring. And that was on purpose, because at one point in time, the community came together for a community planning process and wanted to have more older adult housing there. So that's the current reason why they're acquiring those lots. But we recently had 2 demolitions on 27th as well, and those were just in terrible shape. One was an HABC property, a housing property, and one was privately owned. So that's usually why we're doing that. We're no longer just tearing stuff down just because we don't think that it's a good development or anything.
Were you sort of referencing those places on Greenmount, on the corner, like across from the garden?
Oh, so I can give you an update on that. So, the fish market one? Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Like
Yeah.
next to the ramen.
No, there's two parallel processes happening right now, because the owner, still says he wants to do something with it, which I don't believe him, because it's already been, you know, a few years when I've been inquiring about this. So the city is slating that for demolition, and because it is privately owned, they have to do their due diligence, they have to go to court, they have to do all that kind of stuff, some notice. The other process that's happening at the same time, just in case the guy starts to, say that he doesn't want to demolish, it's super dangerous, by the way. I mean, super dangerous. There's that pit there. The fence wasn't there for a long time. It's really bad. Stuff was falling down. You all remember, right? So the other process is that the city may take it for what's called receivership, where he's paying the taxes, so we can't foreclose on it, but we can auction it off to a third party. I don't like that idea, frankly, because we can't control the outcome of the property in that regard. So let me just, we're on it, trying to deal with those 3 properties, because it's just a horrible eyesore for the community, and he's not doing anything with them. So we'll just keep in touch about that.
We are at time, but I was wondering if maybe quickly there was any update on the tree well tax thing?
So that has been removed. The DOT has agreed that there won't be a fee for the right-of-way for nonprofits that are doing this work. So you would have to put in an application with Tree Baltimore. They're a nonprofit too. But yeah, it didn't make any sense considering that we're trying to get our tree canopy to 40% in like 3 years. And so we needed to have that. So it's taken care of. I'm glad you asked that question. It's taken care of. Yeah. No. Okay, I'm just real quick, I know we're running on time. I just wanted to introduce my friend Shannon Sneed, and she's running for council president. So she's just visiting today to listen in, and you want to, it's your meeting, so if you want to like interrupt.
No, that's quite all right. We're used to interruptions. But did you have something to share briefly?
Well, thank you, friend, thank you, Councilwoman. Yes, I'm Shannon Sneed, running for City Council President. I think the big thing that I want you all to know is that I am a public finance candidate, so I am doing elections totally different than we've done it before. I was the first person to qualify. If you still subscribe to the Baltimore Sun, they actually did an article. Actually, I'm a former journalist, so that's a whole other story. But they had a whole article about public finance, and then the residents of Baltimore City actually voted that we do campaigns this way. So I am not taking any contributions from any developers, business people, dark money unions. It all comes from individual people.
No PAC money?
No PAC money, none of that. It all comes from individual people, and when Baltimore City residents donate, it's matched 9 to 1. So $5 becomes, $50, $25 becomes $250. That allows us to compete with the guys that are already taking big money from these others. So please check me out at shannonspeak4baltimore.com. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, sure. All right, and did everybody get the kind of joke that Ms. Sneed made about the Baltimore Sun?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got rid of mine.
I got rid of mine too.
It's hard to get rid of yours.
Yeah.
All right, everybody knows, that's good. All right, so we are a little behind time, which is great. Oh, yeah, sorry, please, other announcements? No, please do.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm Corey Ramos. Ramos over there. I'm a community engagement advisor for the new Johns Hopkins Police Department. Formerly, I used to work in City Council with the Council President as the Deputy Director of Community Affairs. I wanted to introduce myself so you know who I am. And I've been trying to reach different communities so they know we exist. I've been emailing, I don't know if you received any of the emails about the policies that just closed and feedback, but there is an accountability board that's separate. I could be reached if anybody has any questions, concerns, so on and so forth going forward. But I just wanted to let you know who I am. I didn't know who the president was. I thought we were gonna go around the room.
Yeah, and
Oh.
it's a current
Good
president.
to meet you. But I just wanted to, that's who I am. Cool. Where? Oh, vice president. Yeah.
I was just gonna
I,
ask
I've
you,
seen the.
Oh, the emails, okay.
so we have contact information I can share.
I could do.
I think I got
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay, thank you.
Quick thing, we were about 15 minutes late. We are now 3 minutes late. I'm proud of us, but we do have 35 minutes left of meeting.
Yeah, I think we're gonna cut the committee time down
Yeah.
to 20
Yeah,
minutes?
that's
Okay.
All right, okay, so we're gonna move into, any other announcements? I'm sorry. Anybody else? Any other announcements? All right, thank you. So we're gonna move into committee breakouts. Committee work is, your time to talk, intensely with a small group of people, about your topic. Committee work isn't obviously the most glamorous or like sometimes fun thing to do, and it's only like through small groups of people making decisions together that change happens, so it's actually like really important work. But who has our list of committees that, we will be breaking out into?
The document that you made?
Yes.
I guess I can have it up right now.
Yay!
What do you want me to do? Just say the names of the?
Maybe we just break out like in different sections of the room for each.
Yeah, but do I say the committees out loud?
Yeah.
Beautification.
That's including alley lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the tree.
Then we have CVCBD liaisons.
Oh, that's only me, so don't need to.
Is that not a committee?
Yeah, then we,
There's just only two of us, I'm the only person.
we have events committee.
Unless you have questions about CBCBD, but.
We have
I'm the
finance.
liaison for, so.
Finance?
Yes.
It's a Dr. Lab right now.
We have Harwood Gardens. Mm. We also have Mutual Aid Resource Committee, which is just Isaac and Savannah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right, sorry, I'm just reading the list, sorry. Outreach Committee and Technology Committee. Technology Committee? Sarah?
Sarah is not, she's the.
Okay, so I am the whole committee.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Do you want to just do raise of hands and then you'll move into those groups, and it's okay if we don't have all these covered?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so who wants to talk about beautification? That was like around alleys and kind of bigger spaces. Beautification, anybody? Alright, beautification lighting. Anybody want to join with, that is perfect. Join with Christian for beautification? We got a couple people? All right, great. Events. Any takers for events?
Events sounds can kind of be great group together.
Okay. Events and outreach. Events and outreach.
I'll be around if anyone wants to.
Okay. All right, finance. Finance. Our finance committee head is not here. Okay. Gardens, who wants to talk about gardens? Garden committee, please be right here. Mutual aid. Mutual aid folks be meeting over here on the corner with Isaac. And then technology, any takers for technology?
Oh, technology, hi.
If you wanna.
Technology, maybe you want to talk about it.
Back there. Everybody know where they're going?
Not really, we're gonna go over here.
All right.
Right. There's the green.